Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. We continue this journey reading the Book of Heaven. We're still in volume number 1, almost finishing it. We're in day number 6 of the novena. This novena is called novena, but what it really represents is the 9 months of Jesus in Mother Mary's womb and all what he suffered since his conception. So today we're going to start with day number 6, which is really the 6th month of Jesus in Mother Mary's womb.
Mm-hmm. Did you want me to start, Mirta?
Sure.
Okay. My daughter, come, pray, my dear Mama, to make a little space for you in her maternal womb, that you yourself may see the painful state in which I find myself. So with my thought, it seemed to me that our Queen Mama made me a little room to make Jesus content and placed me inside. But the darkness was such that I could not see him. I could only hear his breathing, and he continued to say in my interior, my daughter, look at another excess of my love. I am the eternal light. The sun is a shadow of my light. But do you see where my love led me, and what a prison, a dark prison I am? There is not a glimmer of light. It is always night for me, but night without stars, without rest. I am always awake. What pain! The narrowness of the prison without being able to make the slightest movement. The thick darkness, even my breathing as I breathe through the breath of my mama. Oh, how labored it is. To this add the darkness of the sins of creatures. Each sin was a night for me, and combining together they formed an abyss of darkness with no boundaries. What pain, oh excess of my love, making me pass from an immensity of light, of space, into an abyss of thick darkness, and of such narrowness that I even lack the freedom to breathe, and all this for love of creatures. As he was saying this, he moaned with moans almost suffocated because of the lack of space, and he cried. I was consumed with crying. I thanked him. I compassionated him. I wanted to make him a little bit of light with my love, and he told me to. But who can say everything? Then the same interior voice added, enough for now, move on to the 7th excess of my love.
So here we have Jesus in the 6th month of being in Mother Mary's womb. He is speaking to Louisa, right? And he said to Louisa, my daughter, come pray, my dear Mama, to set aside a little space for you within her maternal womb. So that means that that Louisa was like, how can I say this? She entered, I would say, in Mother Mary's womb to accompany Jesus there. Of course, this is spiritually. It is not like with her body. No, it's her soul, which is in Mother Mary's womb with Jesus. And then it's very dark, but that darkness has a meaning, right? What meaning do you guys think that is, that darkness where Jesus is? What do you think that means?
Does he give us a little clue when he says the darkness of the sins of creatures?
Exactly. It's because of the sins of creatures. Where there is sin, there's no light. Because the light is God, is Jesus himself, right? So where there is darkness, there is no good. So he is there in Mother Mary's womb, in the darkness of her womb. Of course, when a baby is growing right in his mom's womb, of course it is dark. But the darkness that that is listed here in what he is saying, what he is telling Luisa. It's the darkness of sins, the darkness of God Almighty, having like, how can I say this? He is like, he's so great and so big and so awesome that he just turned into this little thing, into the wound of his mother. And not only that, it's the darkness that is in there. He cannot even move because he can't move because of our sins. And he was conceived with all of us in him. So he is carrying all our sins. So that's why it's so dark. If somebody else has to add something to this.
Well, the suffering of Jesus began from the moment of his incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
He began to die continuously for each of one of us in the womb of our mother.
Mm-hmm.
He remained and repaid each one of us. It was an immobility,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the immobility that we give to his life because we don't move God in us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's suffering for us to repay for this life,
Mm-hmm.
these 9 months, and
Mm-hmm.
for the 34 years, almost 34 years.
And he's not free to move, of course not, because he is like surrounded with so many sins that they're like chains, right, in his body. He cannot move. But now, if we translate this to today's world, what is happening today to Jesus in the soul of so many of us is exactly what he is describing here. He can't move. It's very dark inside. He's there. He's in our soul. He's in the soul of every single human being. But it is dark. He can't even move. So that's why um, we are invited to to um, to do what Luisa did: accompany Jesus, free him from the darkness and the chains where he is at, and those brothers and sisters of ours. And how can we do that? The way that we can do that is repairing Jesus for his suffering. That is beautiful. That we can do that today, tomorrow, and always, until the end of times. All who lives in the divine will have the opportunity to do exactly what Luisa did.
For me, two things come to my mind. The first one, that he says that the sun is a shadow of his light. Can you go outside at 12 o'clock at noon and you could see the sun? And here says that is a shadow of his light.
Mm-hmm.
So that he is in the darkness, that he is, shows me the humility of God, such immensity, such kind of light, to come to the womb of the mother and to bring all the things with him, that he says that the darkness of the sins, each sin was a night for me, each one, and how many things each one of us have. And consider that he is talking about the people of the earth from the past, the present, and the future. It's unbelievable. No? That's why he named it excess of his love.
Mm-hmm.
We have millions of change which don't let us move in God. And he's suffering all of this to free us from this change.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves the darkness of the human will in this womb, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the immobility to free us from this change of the human will.
Mm-hmm.
He died for us.
Yeah.
And now we have the opportunity to free him from this immobility that he has in our brothers and sisters' souls, right? Extend this beautiful excess of love of Jesus to everyone, so he can be free at last, and that light of his can really, really shine in every soul. Okay, so let's go to the seventh.
The seventh day,
Excess of love.
excess of love. The interior voice continued, "My daughter, do not leave me alone in so much loneliness and in so much darkness. Do not go out of the womb of my mama to watch the seventh excess of my love. Listen to me. In the womb of my celestial Father, I was fully happy. There was no good which I did not possess. Joy, happiness, everything was at my disposal. The angels adored me reverently, hanging upon my every wish. Ah, excess of my love! I could say that it made me change my destiny. It restrained me within this gloomy prison. It stripped me of all my joys, happiness, and goods, to clothe me with all the unhappiness of creatures. And all this in order to make an exchange, to give my destiny, my joys, and my eternal happiness to them. But this would have been nothing had I not found in them highest ingratitude and obstinate perfidy. Oh, how my eternal love was surprised in the face of so much ingratitude, and cried over the obstinacy and perfidy of man. Ingratitude was the sharpest thorn that pierced my heart, from my conception up to the last moment of my life. Look at my little heart. It is wounded and pours out blood. What pain, what torture I feel. My daughter, do not be ungrateful to me. Ingratitude is the hardest pain for your Jesus. It is to close the door in my face, leaving me numb with cold. But my love did not stop at so much ingratitude. It took the attitude of supplicating, imploring, moaning, and begging love. This is the eighth excess of my love.
So Jesus says that ingratitude is the hardest pain for him. So that is what he is expecting from all of us, right? To be grateful to all what he has done for mankind. And all that he has done is not only to save us, but is to make real the decree of how we were created, that we were created in his light and in his beauty, in his kindness, in all his attributes. We were created in the sun, right? In his rays. And when the human will is used with selfishness, then is when we don't give God what he has given us. We don't tell him thank you for all what you have given us, and I will give you what you have given me because you love me. And if I was created in your love, well, that is what I have to give you back. I have to give you my little love with the greatest love that you have given me. But I give it to you from within me, but I extend this to everybody, and I concentrate every soul from the first soul to the last soul in this earth. I concentrate them with this little love of mine, and in their name, I tell you, I love you. I love you, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful because you created me for you. So I'm not God, and none of you are, but you know, in our human way to see things, like if we give something to somebody with so much love, for example, a child of ours or a family member of ours, if we sacrifice and we give them so much, well, it's very painful when that person does not give back, at least saying thank you. Don't you think that? So imagine Jesus, imagine God, that he has gave himself to completely to each one of us, and we just don't recognize it, and we don't give him what he needs. So that's why Jesus came, to do what we didn't do. But now, because he had given to God the glory that we needed to give him, now it's our turn to give glory to God, but with Jesus, with what he had given God. And this is the beauty of understanding this excess of love, that gratitude is very, very, very important. Because if we're not grateful, then we owe God. And that's exactly what Jesus did. We owed him love, and that's what he gave his Father, from himself, but extending it to all his brothers and sisters. And this is something that we should really, really keep in our heart and try to be grateful in every moment.
Will in line what you say, and with the example of the family, whom of us, after some of the relatives behave badly, took the attitude of supplicating, imploring, moaning, and begging love, like he says, is his eighth excess of love. Is an extraordinary thing. Huh?
You know, God begging us love. It's almost impossible to understand. Right?
Incredible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he wants us to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the point. Mm-hmm.
Just piggybacking on what you're saying is that this love that he is outpouring to the human race, he requires a response, and he's not receiving that response. And that's where we're coming in the divine will, to fill the voids of all generations, past, present, and future, to fill that void where he has not received the I love you and I thank yous from all generations. So, but love here requires a response, and kind of like what you were saying, Mirta, when you give something to a child, right? You would hope there's a response, a thank you and I love you, a hug, something, a response from that child. And I think that's what he's explaining to us. Like you said, you know, he requires that response, but the whole human race as a whole has been ungrateful.
Mm-hmm. And you know, love is completed when it's reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not reciprocated, love is not completed, because it's giving and receiving. So if he gives and he doesn't receive back, well, that love is incomplete.
Correct.
But for receiving should be from the same quality.
That's true.
From this quality, yes, exactly. That's why we're learning about the kingdom of the divine will. We're learning about the divine will, and we know that giving back is only giving back through his divine will.
Mm-hmm.
If he gives us divine love, that's what we have to give him back, divine love. But we can only do that if we do it in his will, in his divine will. Paris, do you have anything to say on this one?
Yes, Jesus knew that he will suffer so much, and that even so, man will not react and will continue in his sins. But of love for each one, he's suffering all of that, and with the one purpose that we all will have the opportunity of salvation. He's the perfect bigger of love, and he goes begging that we give him a place in our hearts, but we don't do it, you know?
Mhm.
And all
Now,
the grace continues in.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead, Guadalupe.
uh-huh. Now that you say so, you know what responsibility do we have?
Yeah,
Because he says in the book of heaven that not all will reciprocate him. He is trusting in us. So it's a great responsibility to advance and to continue in this journey, to give him the love he deserves.
And giving him back the love that he is giving us is very painful also, because every day we have different situations in our daily life that requires to be grateful to God with the crosses that he himself is giving us, because he is purifying us through those crosses. So if we have those crosses and we know that they're crosses and we don't embrace them, that is not being grateful to God. And he suffers more, even more, if we don't kind of don't understand the importance of embracing the crosses that he is giving us, because that is also the way that we are grateful to him, because he already lived our lives. He already carried our crosses.
With
Now
happiness.
with happiness, yes, with joy, exactly. And he gave everything. So now it's our turn. But it's painful. Thanks God for those pains, because that's how we repair him as well.
And this pain will the suffering will disappear because will understand the meaning of suffering, the meaning of the cross.
Yeah. From the outside is painful, but from the inside it's very sweet. It's a joy, right? Okay, we can go to number 8 now.
Okay. My daughter, do not leave me alone. Place your head upon the womb of my dear mama, for even from the outside you will hear my moans, my supplications. And seeing that neither my moans nor my supplications moved the creature to compassion for my love, I assumed the attitude of the poorest of beggars, and stretching out my tiny little hand, I asked for pity's sake, at least as alms for their souls, their affections, and their hearts. My love wanted to win the heart of man at any cost. And in seeing that after 7 excesses of my love, he was reluctant, he played death. He did not care about me, nor did he want to give himself to me. My love wanted to push itself further. It should have stopped, but no, it wanted to overflow even more from within its boundaries, and even from the womb of my mama. It made my voice reach every heart. And with the most insinuating manners, with the most fervent pleas, with the most penetrating words. And do you know what I said to him? My child, give me your heart. I will give you everything you want, provided that you give me your heart in exchange. I have descended from heaven to make a prey of it. Oh, please do not deny it to me. Do not delude my hopes. And in seeing him reluctant, even more, many turned their backs to me. I passed on to moans. I joined my tiny little hands and crying with voice suffocated by sobs, I added, "Ah, ah, I am the little beggar. Not even as alms do you want to give me your heart? Is this not a greater excess of my love, that the Creator, in order to approach the creature, takes the form of a little baby so as to not strike fear in him, that he asks for the heart of the creature, at least as alms, and seeing that he does not want to give it, he supplicates, moans, and cries?" Then I heard him say to me, "And you, don't you want to give me your heart? Perhaps you too want me to moan, beg and cry for you to give me your heart. Do you want to deny me the alms that I ask of you?" And as he was saying this, I heard him as though sobbing, and I, "My Jesus, do not cry. I give you my heart and all of myself." Then the interior voice continued, "Move further and pass on to the ninth excess of my love."
The beggar of love, right? Can you imagine a little child like I know that there has been some experiments with children that they leave him like an orphanage, for example, right? And there's a lot of children there in little cribs, and some of them are being carried and are being taken care of, right? But one of them is not, for example. The only thing that he is given is milk to continue living, changing his diapers, and that's it. No love, no hugging, no kissing, no nothing, only that. Well, that child died. I don't know if you have heard about that experiment, but that is true. And even more, like if we turn this a little bit further, like in the wound of a woman that is pregnant, and that woman doesn't love that child. It's like giving only milk and changing only the diapers, but that woman is not taking care of that important fact or factor that is telling the child, "I love you." Not even saying it, but at least, like putting her hands over her wound and telling stories or singing songs, taking care of herself. Um, that is like taking care of Jesus as well. So the woman that doesn't love that little child that is growing in her womb, um, that Jesus that is in that little child is begging that woman to love him. And that woman just decides to terminate her pregnancy. So she is doing exactly the same thing that experiment was done with those children that were in that orphanage. And that is so sad because Jesus is always begging us for love. And like it says here in this 8 excess of love, he just wanted to be a little one, because it's very, very almost impossible for the meanest person in this world to look at a child and not love that child, or at least smile at that child. I don't know what you guys think, but to me it's almost impossible. Maybe like thinking about a woman that is pregnant and saying, "No, you have to terminate that pregnancy." Okay, that's fine for them, of course, but that is a very, very big sin. But after that woman had given birth, it's a different story. Many times that woman changes, and even if she cannot have the child for many reasons, because she's not ready to be a mom, or she gives the baby to someone else to take care of it, well, that is also being grateful to God for having the opportunity to 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 have that pregnancy to a full term, even though she is giving that child to another person to take care of her. It is not what it was meant to be, but if that happens, it's a lot more better than saying, no, I just don't want you, and I'm going to kill you. And that is exactly what we do. We kill Jesus, but not only like in our womb, we kill Jesus in our souls. How can we kill Jesus in our souls? Well, if we do it our own will, because we are killing the divine love in every act that we're doing. And that is an abortion also. So God is begging us, love me with your will, moving my own will, going into this beautiful eternity where all the acts that you're doing are going to be transformed and being divine, not only for you, for the purity of your soul, but also for the salvation and the transformation of so many souls, and not only in this generation, but in all generations.
I think that part of our purpose, or God's purpose in creating the creature, was for love to reign. He wanted us to be conceived in love, be born in love, be reared in love, have love grow in us, and give love. And once we die, we return to the great love. I think that's part of our, I'm not sure where in the volumes it may be, but that was part of our purpose of everything being love, a continuous love between the creature and God all the time, continuously. And I think, like you were saying, Mirta, it's a tragedy when love gets suffocated, when love is not reciprocated, when love is ended, because the whole purpose was for love to flow between the creature and the creator.
Mm-hmm. We were created in an ecstasy of love.
Mm-hmm.
One of the lectures, one of the readings in the Book of Heaven is that we were created in an ecstasy of love. So everything that we do is because of love. It doesn't mean that we are using, right, the love that in where we were created for good things. Many times we use that love for our own purpose, and we're just avoiding that real love that that was poured out when we were created. And that's horrible to understand that. That's why we keep on crucifying Jesus every single day and every single moment. There's so many bad things in this world, but that can only be stopped if we keep doing what we are learning to do. That is being united with with the life of Jesus and what he has done and what he keeps on doing, repairing him. And that is the only way that love can be returned into this world. There's no better war than love. Do Paris has anything to say, or
A little bigger of love goes
Mhm.
begging for a heart that opened the door for him.
mhm.
I think this is madness, that a whole God begs for
Mhm.
everyone. So
And this is because we didn't know uh, the meaning of us, if I can say like this,
mhm.
the objective of our creation. and how he created us. We were understanding and believing that we were less than the angels, and we are the created creatures more close to his heart. And I was thinking from the other side too. Can you imagine our mother with her divine will was looking, feeling, hearing all these things that Jesus was living in her womb? For her too, the passion started since the conception.
You know, the beauty of this also, Guadalupe, is that the gestation of Jesus is in our soul too.
Mhm.
So our mother is also suffering because she keeps on suffering, of course, because of the gestation of her son in the soul of her daughters and sisters, of her daughters and brothers, is being ruined, is being interrupted, right? And he keeps on begging, please love me, because loving me is how you are going to feel great again, because your greatness is not yours, is in me, right? Your beauty is not yours, is in me.
So it
So we
means that we are reluctant not just to Jesus, but to her mother too.
Mhm.
But sometimes he doesn't find where he can relieve his love. And only the soul that truly lives in the divine will can relieve it.
Mhm.
So I can imagine that if Jesus is the gestation of Jesus in our soul, it has to be painful. It has to be painful because all what he is suffering in his mother's womb that he is explaining to us in the book of heaven didn't happen 2,000 years ago. It happens every single day until the end of times. The only thing is that we are invited to accompany him in that painful 9 months of his gestation in his mother's womb, but now in our soul. Not only for us, but to give him what he really needs, that is love. He's begging us to love him. And that is very painful, my brothers and sisters, because we don't live isolated. We live in a world where we have family members and maybe a job or different situations in life, and we can see Jesus suffocated in our brothers and sisters, and that is very painful. And we just want to go in and tell them, Jesus, I love you for that person. The love that that person needs to give you, I will give you that love in his name or in her name, so they can understand that they're suffocating you, so that way you can believe and you can be free. Let me accompany you in your divine will.
Mirta, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If this gestation of Jesus in our souls, if we're not corresponding or we're not responding to this love, to this excess of love, are we giving death to him in our hearts and our souls?
Agonizing, he says.
We are aborting him almost. He's agonizing in if we don't give him what he is asking us. He is agonizing not only in our souls, now that we are in this journey together, understanding what is the kingdom of the divine will, we really do understand what it means for Jesus to beg love, and what it means for Jesus to be in the womb of his mother, in total darkness, that he cannot move, that he's not free to move. So if we don't if we don't give him love, the love that he is asking us to do in his divine will through him, well, we're suffocating him.
Mhm. Yep.
And we abort him. We do abortions. Jesus is aborted in our soul.
Thousands of abortions, thousands.
Exactly. Thousands, millions, trillions of abortions.
In every
Of
act we
divine.
have.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah,
That's
that's
why
what I
he,
thought.
that's why he cries and moans for of love. And he said, this is not an excess of love. This is not an excess of love from a whole God.
Mhm.
Cries for us. He needs us. The darkness of
That's
the
why,
yeah. Go ahead.
and
Just
go ahead, Lupita.
no, go ahead.
And that is, now I forgot.
Is that why he says that the only intention that he accepts from each of our acts is that of love for him?
Yeah, what he asked of us is to look at him always. Like with one eye, we have to look at him, and the other eye, we're looking at what we're doing. But having our full attention in him, like if we see a person that is being blasphemous or whatever, we have to see Jesus. He invites us to see him in that person, suffocating, so that way we can give him the love that that person is not giving him, and that's the way we repair him. So that is what he is asking of us. We have to see him in every single person, in every single moment. So that is the martyrdom of attention. We have to see him everywhere in everything we do.
Thank you.
Just I wanted to add that in the excess 7, he says, ingratitude was the sharpest thorn that pierced my heart. From my conception up to the last moment of my life.
And this is the darkness of the human will, cannot see what true love is.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Jesus suffered for that all
Mhm.
his life. All his life. Not only 9 months, all his life. Jesus suffering
Exactly.
for one of us.
Okay, so let's go to the last one.
Number 9. The 9th excess of love. My daughter, my state is ever more painful. If you love me, keep your gaze fixed on me to see if you can offer some relief to your Jesus. A little word of love, a caress, a kiss will give respite to my crying and to my afflictions. Listen, my daughter, after I gave 8 excesses of my love and man requited me so badly, my love did not give up, and to the eighth excess it wanted to add the 9th. And this was yearnings, sighs of fire, flames of desire, for I wanted to go out of the maternal womb to embrace man. And this reduced my little humanity, not yet born, to such an agony as to reach the point of breathing my last. And as I was about to breathe my last, my divinity, which was inseparable for me, gave me sips of life, and so I regained life to continue my agony and return again to die. This was the 9th excess of my love, to agonize and to die of love continuously for the creature. Oh, what a long agony of 9 months. Oh, how love suffocated me and made me die. Had I not had the divinity with me, which gave me life again every time I was about to finish, love would have consumed me before coming out to the light of day. Then he added, look at me, listen to me, how I agonize, how my heart beats, pants, burns. Look at me, now I die. And he remained in deep silence. I felt myself dying, my blood froze in my veins, and trembling, I said to him, my love, my life, do not die, do not leave me alone. You want love? I will love you. I will not leave you ever again. Give me your flames to be able to love you more and be consumed completely for you.
So beautiful. That reminds me of the last hour of the 24 hours of the Passion of Christ, where our Blessed Mother, you know, she's dead. She's dead because her son is dead. But then, in order for her to continue living, she takes from him all his eyes, his hands, his body, his everything, in order for her to keep on living. And that's exactly what we need to do. In order for us to really live, what we need to do is to clothe ourselves with Jesus, with His love. Because if we don't do that, we're dead. So, like us, that we're learning how to live in the divine will, is exactly what Jesus is describing here in this ninth axis of love. Is continuously is like dying and reviving, dying and reviving, dying because of love, to pour out all the love, to be consumed with love, but at the same time reviving, right, with the gratitude, with the forgiveness, with all the attributes of God. If not, we're just dead. And that is what Jesus wants us to do, to love Him back, because in Him loving us, He is giving all Himself to us. He extends His life into our souls.
This excess answer the question that we were discussing before. What happened to him? He said here that he agonized, and he says to Luisa, keep your gaze fixed on me and look at me, listen to me, don't let me alone, he says. And through Luisa, it says the same to Asa. And he explained here how he was agonizing for one of us, then agonizing for another one of us, agonizing for another one of us. Can we have the idea that all his life was living in such a situation, because was redoing the life of everybody of us? He lives all our lives to make them saint. And the other thing that comes to me with this reading is how he says at the end of this number 9, excess of love, Luisa is asking, give me your flames to be able to love you more and be consumed completely for you. So this is something that I ask for him, for me too.
Yes. The painful love, the agonizing and dying continuously was an atrocity, agony in the womb of our mother. He wants our company. He wants us to be with him continuously. That is why he's suffering all this agony, to give us life in him. He
Yes,
wants this.
this is what he's asking for. And can you read the last phrase
Mhm.
to finish
Yes.
to finish the session?
Mhm, I
And
will.
then
I will start from where it says, my love. So,
mhm.
my love, my life, do not die. Do not leave me alone. You want love? I will love you. I will not leave you ever again. Give me your flames to be able to love you more and be consumed completely for you.
Thank you. And with this phrase, um, let's continue the rest of the week. And we have finished the book number 1. We invite you to join us continuously, and I just say fiat, fiat, fiat. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank
To
you.
And remember, you don't leave me alone.
Okay. I will
Sí.
try not to leave him
Yes.
alone. Thank you.
Great.
See you next time.
Thank you.